Hello friends, I am Smita Morbale from CST 59. Today I am going to explain the topic polymorphism. The polymorphism is one feature of Java. So as we know, Java is a programming language. It is a general purpose programming language based on the OOPS concept. So when we go to the OOPS, that is the object oriented programming language, there are 6 pillars of OOPS. First one is class, then object, then abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. From that, I am going to explain polymorphism. The meaning of the term polymorphism in that word itself, that is poly means many, and morphism means forms or the different behaviors. That suppose if we have taken the real life example of person and we consider person as an entity, then person behaves differently at different situation. So when person is at a home, he behaves differently. When a person is at a office or he behaves differently, he has an employee there. And if a person is with his friend, he behaves differently. So the ability of that person behaves differently with the different situation. We call it as a polymorphism. So in Java also, the object behaves differently with the different. When we create the object with a different instance, it is called as the polymorphism. Based on that instance, the object behavior of the object depends. So there are two types of polymorphism: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. There are different names for compile time and runtime also. We call it as a static polymorphism, and for runtime polymorphism is a dynamic polymorphism. Or also for compile time polymorphism we call early binding, and for the runtime polymorphism we call late binding. So when we compile, the behavior of the code or the behavior defined at the compile time in the compile time polymorphism, and the behavior is defined at the runtime in the runtime polymorphism. So when we come to the compile time polymorphism, suppose there are two methods. One is add. The method name should be same, add, and the parameters here is this. For this method, the argument we are passing two arguments of type int, and for this method we are passing three arguments of type int. So the when the method name is same with the different argument list or the argument type, we call it as a method overloading, and it comes in the compile time polymorphism, because which method is going to execute is defined at the compile time only. We can achieve this compile time polymorphism using three ways: that by differing the number of arguments, by differing the data type of the arguments, and by differing the sequence of the arguments which we are passing to that method. And when we come to the runtime polymorphism, it is achieved generally in the inheritance. Suppose there are two classes. Class A is a parent and class B is a child class which extends the class A. So there is a method add which is same in the both the classes, add and which are accepting the two parameters only of type integer. So the execution of that method is defined at the runtime, that the JVM calls that method at the runtime only. So which method is going to execute is defined at the runtime. So it is called as runtime polymorphism, and we generally call it as a method overriding. Thanks.